Welcome back to another episode of Bending Time with Deryl Sweeney. Today's going to be a good one. We're going to talk about our minds, the power of our thinking, and the monster the mind creates. For those of you that don't know me, I am a leadership coach. I work with clients all over the world on creating more powerfully in themselves and in their organizations. And I like to use these spaces to challenge your thinking, to help you maybe think about something that's going on in your life and in your world a different way. And this episode, The Monster the Mind Creates, is all about taking a deeper look at our minds. And if we're challenging your thinking, where does our thinking come from? Well, it comes from our minds. And the monster the mind creates, this actually came from a good friend of mine who was going through some stuff in his world. And when he started to see the stories that felt true to him, they felt like monsters. That's what drove his fear. That's what drove his uncertainty. That's what drove his concern. That's what drove his anxiety, right? The experience he was having of life was all connected to the degree to which he believed the stories that his mind was telling him. What about you? Does that ever happen for you? And do you ever feel anxious, concerned, scared, frustrated, angry, disappointed? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself where those feelings come from or what's driving them? Right? Of course, intellectually, we know it's our minds, but how aware are you that the mind is simply doing what the mind does? And one of the things the mind does is create these monsters, create these situations to scare you, to worry you, um, to wake you up and try to convince you that this is a big deal or this is what's going on. The mind likes to make sense of things. And when the mind doesn't have all of the pieces to make sense of, it simply creates stories to fill in the blank. And so often it is human nature that the stories our mind creates are the very same ones that are most harmful to us. So, why does this matter to you in leadership? When you're thinking about building relationships, when you're thinking about trust, when you're thinking about the possibility of creating something that matters in the world, well, the mind wants to keep you safe. Your mind wants to protect you. Your mind wants to make sure that you're not overexposed. So the first thing it's going to do is tell you all the ways it can go wrong, all the reasons why you shouldn't trust this person, all the reasons why you shouldn't go out and try this thing, why you shouldn't take a risk. It's going to tell you all of the reasons why what's going on in your world is harmful, dangerous, and concerning to you. And it's going to tell you to run. It's going to tell you to stay small. It's going to tell you to retreat to safety. So the reason I bring this into this space is if we get too caught up, if we don't understand our minds, if we don't understand that these monsters are being created and they're simply not real, that of all the things that could be true, how likely is it that we have it right, that we have it all figured out, that the way we're seeing it, the way we're thinking about it is truth? I've found that for most people, it's not only not truth, but because it feels true, it's the thing that keeps us small and keeps us stuck. And so, this is simply a short video to invite you to challenge those monsters, challenge the mind. When the mind says, well, this is why you shouldn't do this, this is why you shouldn't trust this person, this is why it's going to turn out poorly. What do you do with those thoughts? Do we just accept them and wear them as truth? Or I would argue a more powerful way of being is to challenge those thoughts. Uh, Hmm, how true is it that I shouldn't trust this person? How true is it that the thing they did was from a place of maliciousness? What was against me? How true is it that this result that was created is negative, is bad? How true is it that the thing I want to take on simply won't work? With this extra level of inquiry, we can start to break down and see through some of these monsters, these stories that are created in the mind. And we can use our wisdom and our discernment to say, okay, what's really going on here? What is true and what is not? Better yet, rather than guessing, we have an opportunity to go and collect data. We can create conversations. We can get other people's opinions. We can bring it to a coach. There are a million ways we can explore how true or untrue some of the stories that our mind is creating is. And when you can do that, you set yourself up to create that much more powerfully in the world. The results you get are going to be directly tied to your ability to see through stories that keep you stuck, right? To see through thoughts and thinking that has created a ceiling in your life that you can't seem to break through. It's one of the things I do with clients as we dissolve these stories, as we tap into truth, as we wake up to who we are and we wake up to what's possible, the results we create on the other side of that shift. Of course they shift. They couldn't help not to. And as we take chances and we take risk and we practice, we put reps in to some of these things, then a funny thing happens, right? Reality has a way of dissolving and defeating those very same monsters that your mind created. The very same stories that felt true only a moment ago hold no power over you. So, as an invitation, take a moment and ask yourself, what are the stories that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you small, that are stopping your organization, your team, or you from reaching that next level? What are the monsters that feel real right now that are getting in the way of the relationship you want to create, of the money you want to make, of the results you want to see happen in your organization? And what are some ways that you can challenge those stories? If you want a partner to help you do that, to help poke through and challenge those stories, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to have a conversation around this. Right? Really understanding the mind and seeing people step into using it as a superpower rather than a sabotage is one of my favorite things to do, because as our thinking shifts, our world shifts, and as our world shifts, what we create shifts with it. So hopefully you found value in this. If there's somebody in your world who would value seeing through the monsters in their mind, seeing through the stories that their mind are creating that are keeping them stuck, share the video with them. It's intentionally short to make it easy. And before you go, I want to mention the SCG Leadership Institute. I want to mention this resource. This is a guidebook that I created. It is filled with articles, it is filled with audios, it is filled with videos, with resources to help challenge some of that thinking we were just talking about. It's designed to help you shift into that next level of leadership, to help you create more powerfully at work. It is available absolutely free of charge. It is on my website. Go to darylsweeney.com, click on the SCG Leadership Institute tab, and download this resource. Use it, share it, take value from it. And if you're interested in a more intensive way to develop who you're being as a leader, check out what we have going on inside the SCG Leadership Institute. It's an awesome program. I just met with a group this morning, and what we're going to create over the next few months is going to be remarkable. So take a look. You have questions or interests, let me know. Happy to have that conversation with you as well. Until next time, thanks for jumping in with us, and go out there and defeat some monsters. See you guys.